How's everybody doing? My name is Steven Rosenberg. This is Gene Ginsberg, and welcome to Marketing Success in Under 10 Minutes. We have an excellent show for you guys today. As you can see, I'm on the rooftop of Whole Foods and Amazon headquarters. It's gorgeous out here. Gene, how have you been doing?
I've been doing really well, and I'm excited to talk about today's topic. So I want to talk about company culture and leadership, because I think this is a topic that's been, I think we've all have heard about it, and I've been reading a lot about it, I've been hearing a lot about it at conferences lately, and I feel like I'm in the process of my company of really defining what that is for my company, and of course it's very specific to each company, but I think some of the things that I want to share would be how, it's such a broad and vague, I think, topic, but a lot of times I get asked the question, well, how do you even define what it is? So I think you would want to start with your core values, your mission, and your vision for your company. And I think that a lot of that will drive your company culture as you are, as you've created the company vision, mission, and values. You'll find the right people to fill those seats that you need help with for your company and for the tasks and for the projects that you're working on. I would say a lot of it has to start with the hiring phase. So you want to hire people that have the right culture fit for your company, and I think it's important because sometimes that happens where maybe you might hire a person who might not be the best fit to your culture, and it really can drive your company down and drive morale down. So you really want to be careful about what kind of people you are hiring, because you want to make sure that of course you're hiring the people that would bring everybody up and lift everybody up at your company. What are your thoughts on that, Steven?
So I also think that it's just as important to fire quickly. So I know that sounds really harsh and brash, but I get what you're saying with the hiring, but I almost think it's more important your ability to fire quickly, because a lot of times people get stuck in a phase where you put all of this effort and energy into hiring someone, and for whatever reason, their fault, your fault, the company's fault, what month it is, whatever the fault is, they don't end up working out, but then you spend another 3, 6, 12 months carrying on this employee for a number of other reasons. And I think being able to fire more quickly can also be just as valuable as having different hiring skills. That's kind of like my opposition, but I do think it is important to put in all the effort and energy into hiring.
Yeah, and of course nobody really likes to fire people, no matter who we are and what kind of business leaders we are.
Awful.
Of course it sucks. So that's why I think I agree with you that if you did not maybe make the right choice with a candidate, perhaps that yes, perhaps the best thing to do maybe just is to part ways at that time. But I think, of course, that's why hiring is such an important process, because you want to make sure that it's not just that the person can do the tasks and can fulfill all the projects and everything, but that they also, fit with your company culture and that they mesh well with the other people who are working for you. Because, the last thing you want happen is for morale to be low because of just one person who might not be a good fit. But I also think one of the things that is important, as we're all of course in different stages of our company leadership. So some people maybe are just getting started and they're pretty much doing everything, and then some people are maybe a little bit more advanced as business owners, and some maybe for the most part have stepped away. But I think as I'm realizing as my company is growing, and I've heard that from other people, is that you as kind of the business owner become also the leader in the company, and you drive really what becomes your responsibility as you grow your company and it gets bigger is to drive the culture. That should really be your core, I don't want to say core competency, but really core responsibility for...
It all falls on you.
Yeah.
It all falls on you. All of it.
Because you can delegate other things. You can delegate your accounting, you can delegate your even core competency of your business to other people, to account managers and directors, to C and B level positions. But really the company culture is where a lot of it is driven, actually all of it is driven from the business owner, because they were the person that created the company, so they created the mission and the vision and the values, and of course over time the company has grown. So of course having the business owner and the business leader drive that is really important. What are your thoughts on that, Stephen?
I think it's actually essential, and I think that it's going to dictate sort of the future outcome of your business. I mean, a perfect example is myself, and I definitely have realized times throughout my business career where I've done really exceptional at being that, and times where I've not been as exceptional. I can actually see the outcome of that, and it's not good. I mean, you have to drive the company culture, because at the end of the day, nobody's going to run your business for you. I mean, you can't expect people, for one, to, unless they have part ownership in the company, but assuming that you own 100% of your business, it all stops with you. And again, as soon as you start taking shortcuts, so will your employees. As soon as you start, acting a certain way, maybe not the next day, but again, it more erodes. And it also goes back to the people that you hire and or fire, because if you're not being that in-your-face kind of leader and leading the company culture, if you have someone that's not good, that should be fired, but is still around, that almost, I refer to it as a cancer or a virus. It just kind of spreads, and it affects other people, and it just it can single-handedly end your business. It's just like a awful parasitic thing that you don't want sitting around your company or your company culture.
It's kind of terrible talking about this one person as a parasite, but I guess
I'm not talking about any single person. I'm talking about sort of this facade that happened. It's not about any single one person. It's just people can start up drama. People can start up. You can't have someone that's not a part of your company culture. I don't know. I don't know how else to explain it. It's just if they're not present, if they're not about it, then that's fine. But maybe you're just making the executive decision that they need, another position would be better for them. At maybe another company that aligns better with their morale, or, something along those lines.
And I totally agree with that. Yeah, of course. The other thing I wanted to share was that, so I just started reading this book called Traction by Gino Wickman. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it is an amazing book so far. I've just started reading it, but it's a book about entrepreneurship and how to manage your business. And he talks about this concept, this process called entrepreneurial organizational strategy in it. And one of the things that he talks about, the author of this book, Traction, is having, of course, also a core leadership team. But not just that. Of course, you want your core leadership team to be, in line with, of course, your core values and your mission and your vision. But also taking all of that and basically disseminating across to all of the other employees in your business. So basically having one voice, starting with you, the business owner, and then going across your leadership team and of course across all your employees. Kind of like he equates it to being kind of like parents, when you have a child, the child might run to dad and ask him one question, and then might run to mom and ask him the same question, and might not get different answers. So having a solid leadership team where the answer is always the same, no matter who you ask, which whoever employee asks, maybe different people in the leadership team, always being in line and basically having the exact same answer across the board and being on the same page.
So that is something that's very hard to achieve, but it's definitely achieved by, plenty of businesses, especially really good businesses. The one business I've had probably the best experience with that, and really I feel like has done that better than a lot of companies I've seen, is Jimmy John's. Jimmy John's, thanks for sponsoring this episode of Marketing Success, by the way. No, I'm just kidding, but Jimmy John's has done a phenomenal job of implementing that culture all the way down to the smallest of small details. And, my experience with that, not going into, any little details, I guess, about it, they've just done a phenomenal job at really being able to execute that culture all the way through, because they have so many different stores throughout the country, and every single one you go into, everything's the same.
That's true. Yeah, consistency. And we talked about one of the consistency in one of our branding episodes, so if you guys haven't seen it, you should definitely check it out. So, any other last parting thoughts?
No, I really appreciate everyone tuning in. Make sure you guys like and follow this. Let us know if you have any questions down below. We'll be happy to answer them. And until next time, have a wonderful day.
Thanks.
Thanks so much for watching. We hope you'll continue to get involved and join us as we help you find success in your entrepreneurial journey. Please follow, like, and share with others who will find this beneficial. We'll see you on the next episode of Marketing Success in Under 10 Minutes with Stephen and Jean.